structural engineer and had his interest in urban infrastructures and environments. He is a co-chair of the Downtown Community Residents Association and the chair of the Association of Consulting and Engineering Companies of Manitoba's Image and Public Relations Committee. In his spare time, he likes to cook great food, converse over black coffee, and this is a new word I just learned, and pwn you in video games. P-W-S, I don't know. Pwn you in video games. He also just kicked cancer's ass. So he just kicked cancer's ass, and he's also recently gotten married. And this has taught Jomar that in wearing many, many hats, he's been able to adapt and survive. So please welcome Jomar Menzel.
Yep, ready. So we've all been there, dark, cold night, walking home from the bus, and we see a dark figure approaching us on the street, coming in the opposite direction. We puff up our chest, we clutch our bag, and our expression concentrates. And then we pass the other person and we sigh relief. You've just code switched. It's an inherent and at times intentional shift in our express language due to what's happening around us. Ever coo at a baby? Ever talk loud and slow to your best friend's German grandma? Or stopped yourself from using a smiley in an email? You just code switched. Switching at its core is primal and automatic. Social creatures get angry and they stand on their hind legs and they're gentle and sweet sometimes because the right type of code is just that at that moment. We also control our situations. We switch to show off, to be seen, to look strong, because we want that hotter mate. We want acceptance from the group. And in humans, we have an ego to appease, and we have things to collect. So there is an ideal you that we are led to believe exists. My ideal you is right here, this hot white male. But the reality is, we are different versions of ourselves at any one point. Who you are and who you're portrayed to be right now is not the same person as it was a decade ago, a year ago, or even a moment ago. So why am I talking about this? As an engineer, I work with architects, I work with people in the field. I work with so many different people at the same time. At times I want to be rough and gruff, but I also am a very quiet person when I have to be. So there's a little bit of a conflict there. Can I be loud and quiet? Can I be professional but also like dude bro? And I've been led to believe that I can. The point of this talk is to understand that I and others switch to survive. Code switch. And in more specific terms, we switch professionally for victory or defeat. Switching is intuitive and learned. Intuitive in that we want to have food, sex, and safety, and we'll fight anything for it. But other codes are absorbed around us from our past and current experiences. So we pick up people's body language, how they talk, and what they talk about. So where do my influences come from? Gallagher Avenue in Brooklyn's Winnipeg. I grew up pretty poor and pretty Filipino. The Filipino comes out when they talk to mommy. And like I bow and stuff when I buy groceries from Lucky Food Mart. That's just what happens. University and high school, my first exposure to white people. This is where social fun Jomar was like born and stuff. We're talking dude bro hugs, how to hold a cigarette, up talk, and like, you know, texting. And then the gays. This was where higher pitch was okay sometimes. Ass, designing, Skittles, ass. I was allowed to be who I wanted to be, and my gay friends allowed me to do that as well. And the engineering me. Am I going to be working in the office today? Am I going to be out there with the boys? can I limit the amount of fucks that I use in a sentence? That's the kind of questions that I have to ask myself. A meeting with my boss is different from a meeting with my clients, or a meeting with the boys in the field telling them to place the fucking concrete nicely. So, search your own influences, but what I'm trying to say here and what I'm trying to stress is a multifaceted, multilingual you, not an all-personality you. Your influences and your surroundings give you social codes which are akin to knowing different languages and being multilingual, but there are some problems. We are quick to judge others. Before we ever get to the point of anything that we're trying to say, we've already judged the person because they didn't use the right there, or they sound funny. Notice that you do judge people and get past that and hear what they're trying to say. But notice also, too, that others readily judge you as much as you judge them. You are armed knowing that you can see past other people's biases, but some people may not be. You can come off genuine and get what you need. Not everything needs up talk, and not everyone likes to be called bro. And there's that idea again of genuine you. If you have to get anything from me tonight and you don't take this multilingual whatever that I'm saying, know that there is a you that can be turned off. Comic Sans can't be used for everything, but there is a place for it. Papyrus does not. Everyone can and does code switch, which makes for chaos, but being a smart, creative something that you are, you can suck in your pride and switch to survive. And know that you are whoever you want to be, but you have to make the situation work for you. And if you don't actively switch, I mean, you'll survive maybe. You've been doing it automatically ever since, but you may not get that hot guy, or you might alienate your friends as the grammar Nazi, or you might not get that next opportunity. So why leave it to chance? And lastly, language evolves. As readily as you do, and it's stupid to think that it's static. The way that we talked before is no longer the way that we're talking now. So if you're picking up what I'm putting down, then that's all you need to actually hear. Look beyond how it was said, but also convey what you want to be heard. We are what we pretend to be. So we must be careful about what we pretend to be. Vonnegut. Others will take you for face value, always. But you control what others can see and hear. Thank you.